And there were practically no shopping centers in 1923.
That's true. That's exactly right. And this was something entirely new and different. Everybody was skittish of it.
Yeah, no one else wanted the franchise.
Skittish refers to a nervous excitement, which is generally sort of negative, where someone might jump anytime they hear a noise. So you can have a skittish horse or a skittish cat or a skittish person.
And it's a negative quality, right? You don't want to be called skittish.
It's a negative quality, right?
And also skittish can mean undecisive. Like, for example, skittish investors. So they are not certain whether they want to buy these stocks or not.
That's correct. A lot of people have a drink before they go to parties so they don't act too skittish with people they don't know very well. My cat was very skittish when I first got him. Now he's starting to calm down and become more comfortable.
I'm sorry to have to welcome you to this invitational showing of Follow Me Boys in this way. I'd give anything to be there with you, but this seems to be one of those times I'm tied down here at the studio night and day.
Tied down refers to a situation where somebody can't leave for some reason, typically something of long duration. So if somebody's tied down with a project, it means that they can't do very much until they finish the project. Or if they're tied down with children, it means they look at their children more as a burden than as a source of joy.
And typically it's a long-term involvement, because there is another phrasal verb, to tie up, and that means more or less temporary, correct?
That's correct. Tied up would be a temporary delay. Tied down would be a long-term delay or a long-term commitment of some type in a negative way.
So if someone is calling you and you cannot talk, you are busy at the moment, what would you say? Tied up, or tied down?
It would depend how you want to communicate with the other person. If you want to communicate that you can only, if you want to communicate with the other person that you will only be delayed for a short period of time, then you would say, I'm tied up. If you want to communicate that you'll be delayed for a long time, then you say, I'm tied down.
And long term can be one day, right? So
it could be a day, it could be several hours, but it would be longer than, let's say, 10 minutes. If you're tied up, people might assume you're only going to be delayed 10 or 15 minutes. But if you're tied down, they would assume probably at least an hour, 2 hours, or maybe even for the whole evening, or the whole day, or the whole week, for that matter. I want to try to leave work earlier, but every night I get tied down at the office, and I'm lucky if I get to leave by 10 o'clock. We got a lot of snow last week, so everybody's tied down at home until the snow melts. ESL-fullsteamahead.com